How's it going, everybody? It's Mike from PC Classic Cars, back with another test drive video. Today we are in this 1966 Chevrolet Chevelle with a 396 automatic, an aftermarket AC. All right. So again, we have a 66 Chevelle. It is done up like a Super Sport, but it is not a true SS car. It has a stock style 396 that's in it. Unfortunately, I don't know exactly when the motor was put in this car, but it runs really well, motor strong. Turbo 400 shifts through all the gears well. And mechanically it drives really nice and straight down the road. It's a well-sorted car mechanically. You have power steering, power front disc brakes, and just a really good cruising car. There we go, just loaded up for a second there. There we go. Like I was saying, a really, really good driving car. Letting it warm up a little bit before I kind of get on it. Interior wise, you have a stock style Chevelle interior, but this is not an original interior for this car. It was originally coded as a fawn bench seat column shift car. It's still got the little column insert there on the column itself, but it does have tilt, which is cool. Better pay attention so I don't go off onto the road into the rumble strips there. But you do have buckets, console, all this stuff looks really nice. Back seat looks really good. Headliner and visors is nice. Has an aftermarket, like a retro style stereo in there. And then you have your 3 gauges under the dash with your AC vents. Really the only imperfections on the interior is the driver's seat from getting in and out. It's got a little bit of wear, but it's minimal at best. But the interior overall is very clean. Turn my turn signal off there. Gauges are a stock style sweeping gauge. You have your fuel gauge on the left, you have your speedo in the center, and then your dash clock on the right. The speedo does work, but it's off about 15 miles an hour. It's got the little wrong plastic gear that goes into the bottom side of the speedometer cable that goes into the transmission. So to get the speedo to be accurate, you'll have to change out that little plastic gear and put the right one that's in there. It says we're doing about 70, we're probably doing about 55 or so. So the car does have some gear in the rear end, being that it's just a 3-speed automatic. It's not really a 70 or 75 mile an hour car. At 60, 55, 60, it's still comfortable, but you're not going to be running down the freeway at 80. It'll be too wrapped out at that point. But again, it's still comfortable at 60. Doesn't bother me at 60, 65. Items that don't work. You have your washer sprayer fluids don't work. I believe the reverse lights were the other option, or the other item that didn't work. And then you have your speedo, which is working. It's just not 100% accurate. Steers really nice and tight. The horn does work, but it's not off the horn button. Up underneath the center of the dash, right below the column, there's a little button there that engages the horn. Again, the motor's not a crazy high horsepower big block, but it does run well. Pulls you down the road nice. Transmission shifts really nice and positive. I forgot to mention you do have your little like Bluetooth style speaker right there, and then you have a little USB to plug your phone into if you want to. Underside is very, very clean. Didn't find any rust issues. The floors look all original and very, very clean and very nice. Frame rails are excellent. Trunk is all nice and clean with no problems inside the trunk. So again, no real rust issues whatsoever on the bottom side of the car. Paint quality is nice. I don't know when it was done. Like most of these cars are already painted before I get them. This car was originally a turquoise car with the fawn interior. It's like a butternut yellow type color. Looks good in person. It's got a nice black pinstripe down the side. Small little touch-ups. Check out the additional photos tab on our website. And I'll take you to the link to the extra photos of the imperfections and the flaws. It'll also have motor numbers and pictures of the VIN and all that stuff. And again, this isn't a true super sport. It's a 136 VIN, just a Malibu that's done up like an SS Chevelle, but they did a nice job with it. Without running the VIN, you really wouldn't know that it's not a big block Chevelle. It's got the nice 17-inch torque thrust wheels on it. Really nice tires. They look like they're basically brand new. When we're doing about 65 or so right now, like any car that's got a little bit of gear in the rear end, you tend to feel a little bit of the harmonics from the rear end. It's not really a vibration. You can just, it's just a feeling that you get when there's more gear in the rear end, especially going down a road like that. I was cruising about 65, so that was about 70 right there. And you do feel a little bit of the harmonics of the rear end. Again, no problem with it. It's just notorious when you have a little bit of a gear in the rear end. Cruising at higher speeds like that, you'll just feel that going down the road. And yeah, we're like 4 for 4 days in a row here. That officer is pulling people over on this road, so I might have to find a new spot to go, because cruising at 20 miles an hour doesn't do y'all a whole lot of good watching me drive these cars, but it is what it is. Suspension is all stock style equipment on this car. Goes down this bumpy road really nice and straight. Obviously you saw when I was driving it before. You let off the steering wheel at 60 miles an hour. It goes exactly where you want it to go. Doesn't have any weird rattles or weird sounds or anything like that. Just a really nice tight driving car. Steering is really nice and responsive. Goes where you want it to go. When you get on the brakes, it stops true, stops straight, doesn't pull you into oncoming traffic or into the shoulder. So that's really nice. The brakes are set up well. It is discs in the front, drums in the rear. It is a power brake setup on this car. You do have vintage AC that blows nice and cold. The heat also blows hot. That's always a nice bonus. It's kind of crazy what adding aftermarket AC, the kit with all of the nice stuff, a vintage AC kit, you're going to spend like $200 to $2,500 for the full drop-in ready kit, and then dropping it off to a shop, you're going to spend the same, if not more. So you're probably $5 grand to add aftermarket AC if you're going to have someone else do everything for you. Obviously, if you have the ability to add AC yourself, it's going to save you a whole lot of money. But if you're an individual that just has to drop it off to a shop, you're looking at probably a minimum of $4,500 or $5 grand to have a vintage AC system installed nowadays. We'll let you hear the exhaust. And then we'll slow down before the officer up there. But my overall feel on this Chevelle, it's a excellent driving car. Love the fact that it's a big block. Vintage AC is a huge bonus. I love the buckets console. Color combo, like the butternut style yellow with the black interior, is always an iconic color on these cars. It looks great. Just a nice clean car front to back, and one that it's fun to drive. It's just a nice car. It's just really nice and solid underneath. You're not fighting rust battles or patch panels or anything like that. It seems like the car lived a good life. Obviously someone cloned it out like an SS, which is no problem for me. And again, another cool thing is the tilt. If you are a bigger guy, sometimes these cars with these big steering wheels aren't the most comfortable to drive. The seats can only go back so far, so hopping in and out of it with tilt makes it a much more user-friendly setup, at least getting in and out of it. I'm 6 foot tall, just under 200 pounds, and I fit in here extremely comfortable. It's a very easy car to drive. It's very nice. Cruising at, we're off the throttle, 48 pounds of oil pressure, 170 degrees after a nice long test drive, good voltage. So all those gauges under the dash are working. As always, I appreciate y'all stopping in to watch another one of my test drive videos. If there's ever anything else that y'all want to see, have comments, concerns, questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment on my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to get updates for all the content we're putting out daily. Check us out at PCClassicCars.com. And again, if y'all need something, don't hesitate to reach out, and we'll see you on the next test drive video.